Hello students, welcome to Rank High online classes. Today we will going to start a series of lectures on organic name reactions. You all know that organic name reactions are very important topic for board exams, IIT, NEET and other competitive exams. So today we will start with arch reaction. After doing this lecture, I am sure you will be confident enough to answer any questions on this topic. So guys, please be with me. After doing this lecture, if you have any questions in your mind, please don't hesitate to comment below. I will answer all of your questions in a very short time. What is called arch reaction? Arch reaction is a coupling reaction used in organic chemistry and organometallic chemistry for the industrial preparation of symmetrical alkanes. Do you know what are called symmetrical alkanes? Alkanes, those contain even number of carbon atoms, are called symmetrical alkanes. Known as one of the first named reaction in organic chemistry where symmetrical alkanes are synthesized by a reaction between alkyl halides and more electropositive metals like sodium in presence of dry ether acting as a solvent.
Electropositive metals are good electron donors. Because of their large size, the outer orbital electrons are long away from the nucleus. They are relatively easy to remove. Hence, ionization energies are very low. As for example, sodium has electronic configuration such as 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. The single electron in 3s1 orbital is easily shared with halogen atoms to produce Na plus X minus. Electrons in 2p6 are more firmly held by the nucleus than in 3s1 orbital because of lesser distance from the center. Hence, filled 2p6 orbital gets preference over half-filled 3s1 orbital if more stable electronic configuration is concerned.
Side reactions such as elimination reaction and rearrangement reactions are so common that the arch reaction is seldom used. Mixed arch reactions of two different alkyl halides are even less feasible because of the number of products obtained with near boiling points, so that they are very difficult to separate.
The reaction is as follows. When a solution of an alkyl halide, RH, especially bromide or iodide in dry ether, is treated with metallic sodium, a symmetrical alkane, that is RR, is obtained, and the reaction is known as arch reaction. Two molecules of alkyl halide react with two sodium atoms in presence of dry ether to produce a symmetrical alkane, that is RR plus 2 sodium halide. If we consider the alkyl group as ethyl group, then two molecules of ethyl bromide will react with two sodium atoms in presence of dry ether to produce N-butane plus 2 sodium bromide. More electropositive metals such as sodium is used in arch reaction. Other metals, however, in a very finely divided state may also be used, as for example silver or copper. Now comes the mechanism of arch reaction. There are two mechanisms which are generally followed. Number one is by formation of intermediate organometallic compound followed by nucleophilic substitution. What happens in mechanism 1? In step 1 of this mechanism, the halogen exchange between alkyl halide and sodium and formation of alkyl sodium compound having carbanionic character. The alkyl halide molecule will react with sodium free radical which is produced in situ, forming sodium halide and the carbanion.
In general, these reactions are carried out in presence of highly electropositive metals to generate a carbanion, which is the effective nucleophile. One or more groups associated with the sp3 hybridized carbon atom are usually electron withdrawing in order to stabilize it. In contrary, the electron donating inductive effect and the steric factor destabilize the carbanion as per the following sequence. The primary carbanion is more stable, then the secondary, and then the tertiary carbanion.
Now comes the step 2 of mechanism 1. Step 2 generally follows two pathways, main reaction and the side reaction. In the main reaction, the alkyl sodium displaces the halogen atom of RH by SN2 pathway. What is SN2? The full form is substitution nucleophilic bimolecular pathway. The Na plus R minus reacts with RH to form an intermediate transition state where the negative charge is equally distributed between the attacking nucleophile and the leaving nucleophile, which consequently produce the symmetrical alkane and sodium halide. If we consider the alkyl group as ethyl group, then the ethyl sodium reacts with ethyl bromide to form the symmetrical alkane, that is the N-butane and sodium bromide. Now I will explain the SN2 characteristics in detail. To know the SN2 characteristics, you first have to know what is called sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization, the redistribution of electron densities between 1s and 3p orbitals. If the transition state of one-step nucleophilic substitution reaction on a sp3 hybridized carbon atom involves two species, it is said to be substitution nucleophilic bimolecular or SN2 reaction.
Here you can observe the transition state involved two species. That's why the transition state is bimolecular and the reaction is called SN2 reaction.
In an SN2 reaction, the breaking of bond between leaving nucleophile and the C atom and making bond between incoming or attacking nucleophile and the C atom occurs simultaneously. Thus, SN2 reaction is called a concerted step reaction. In the SN2 reaction, the negative charge is spread in the transition state, or in fact, being transferred from the incoming to the leaving nucleophile, and the hydrogen atoms attached to sp3 hybridized carbon atom attack pass through a position in which they all lie in one plane, that is, the geometry is planar triangular. Thus, the initially sp3 hybridized carbon atom becomes sp2 hybridized carbon atom involving one s orbital and two p orbitals in the transition state.
Here you can see the CH3 carbon ion attacks the central C atom from the left side and the CC bond starts forming. Simultaneously, on the other side, the C-Br bond starts breaking. The geometry of the transition state is planar triangular, that is, the central C atom and the three H atoms associated with it lie on the same plane, which is perpendicular to the plane where the bond breaking and bond making are taking place. Thus, after transition state, the central C atom attacked turns inside out with its associated hydrogen atoms and there is inversion of configuration.
Now comes the side reaction of mechanism 1, where the carbon ion acts as a base and receives proton from alkyl halide Rx to promote elimination reaction, which is leading to disproportionation, that is the formation of alkane and alkene. If we consider the alkyl group as ethyl group, then ethyl sodium will react with ethyl bromide to form an alkane, that is ethane and ethylene, the alkene and sodium bromide.
Thus, the ethyl carbon ion takes one proton from ethyl bromide forming ethylene by elimination reaction.
Now comes the mechanism 2 of Arch reaction, where the intermediate formation by free radical followed by combination or disproportionation. In the step 1, the halogen exchange between alkyl halide and sodium and intermediate formation of free radicals. That is, the Rx will react with sodium free radical to form alkyl free radical plus sodium halide. In step 2, the alkyl free radicals may combine to produce higher alkanes or engage in disproportionation to produce alkane and alkene. If we consider R as ethyl group, then two ethyl free radicals will combine to form butane and two ethyl free radicals can disproportionate into an alkane, ethane and an alkene, that is ethylene.
In the free radical mechanism, the R free radicals are formed by homolytic fission of Rx bonds. Two R free radicals combine together to form the alkane with even number of carbon atoms.
Now we will come to the various facts of arch reaction. Number 1. The reaction may be carried out with different alkyl halides R1X and R2X, but in this case, three different alkanes will be formed with very close boiling points, thus are not separable easily. For this reaction, the mixed arch reaction has no importance. The base yield of an alkane will be obtained when R1 and R2 are identical. It has been found out that the arch reaction gives good yields only for even number of carbon atoms symmetrical alkanes of high molecular weight, and the reaction generally fails with tertiary alkyl halides. Fact number 3. Due to steric repulsion and plus I effect of alkyl groups, the tertiary carbanion stability is very poor, which promote elimination reaction to produce alkenes rather than nucleophilic substitution reaction to produce alkanes.
As per example, the three bulky methyl groups of tertiary carbanion repel each other due to steric factor destabilizing the carbanion. At the same time, the methyl groups push the electron cloud towards the central C atom, increasing the electron density over it. That's why the tertiary carbanion can easily accept protons from alkyl halides, promoting elimination reaction rather than substitution reaction.
The order of halide reactivity is iodine is greater than bromine is greater than chlorine is greater than fluorine, and alkyl halides are more reactive than aryl halides. Indeed, alkyl and aryl halides do not couple in diethyl ether solvent unless a more vigorous solvent such as tetrahydrofuran, a heterocyclic ether, is used as a solvent.
The spontaneity of arch reaction primarily depends upon halide reactivity and reactiveness of alkyl or aryl groups. In fact, mixed arch reaction between an alkyl and aryl halides is hard to react in presence of diethyl ether, but reacts easily in presence of tetrahydrofuran or dimethyl formamide as a solvent.
Tetrahydrofuran or THF acts as a polar aprotic solvent which does not contain any OH or NH bond, therefore cannot solvate the anions by forming intermolecular hydrogen bonding. In this way, the attacking nucleophile or the anion in THF is much more reactive to donate its electron pairs in a SN2 reaction. Arch reaction must be performed under anhydrous conditions because the highly reactive alkyl free radicals are formed, which can abstract protons from water. Also, oxygen and moisture should not be allowed in the reaction to prevent sodium from burning. Sodium is so reactive in open air, it is generally stored under kerosene. Sodium can react with oxygen to produce sodium oxide, or sodium can react with moisture in air to produce sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. The minimum number of carbon atoms in the product of this coupling reaction is 2, which does not apply in case of methane, CH4. Therefore, the lowest alkane that can be developed through arch reaction is ethane, that is C2H6. In arch reaction, an alkene is sometimes produced as a side reaction or elimination. The more bulky the alkyl halide at halogen end, more easier to remove halogen as X minus due to plus I effect, and therefore more amount of alkene is produced. One type of arch reaction is quite useful is the closing of small rings, especially three-membered rings such as 1,3-dibromopropane can be converted to cyclopropane by zinc and sodium iodide. Two highly strained molecules that have been prepared by this way are bicyclobutane and tetracyclodecane. Last but not the least, A variation of arch coupling uses other metals to facilitate the coupling reaction, which are synthetically very useful. As for example, allylic halide can be symmetrically coupled by treatment with nickel carbonyl at room temperature in a polar apodic solvent such as THF tetrahydrofuran or DMF to produce 1,5-dienes.
That's all about arch coupling reaction. If you have any doubt on the topic, please comment below. In the next lecture on organic named reactions, we will discuss about Hell-Vollard-Zelensky or HVZ reaction. Till then, thank you and goodbye.